Hey everybody, this is UB Simigneti here with Nina and Taylor Fiskus. So Taylor is operations and HR at a new solar technology startup. Really cool stuff, and they've been hiring. So Taylor, you've grown by about 60 people in the last couple months, right?
Yes, quite a lot of quick growth since early March. Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, we're excited to talk to you. This is part of our We Are Hiring series again, just to let people know that there are companies out there, really cool companies hiring. And, we want candidates to know that there's still hope in the market and, things are still alive, right? So to kind of not give up. And so thank you for being a part of this. I know you can't talk a lot of specifics about the organization just yet, but maybe talk a little bit about some core truths, right? Like what's true about the company right now?
Sure. Yeah. So thanks for saying that. I do hope that this helps to give a little bit of hope to people. I have continually seen that folks are hiring. So yeah, we are as well. And that's a big part of one of the sort of core truths is that the company is a startup. It's been around for about a year, but really started forming the team in earnest in early March. So, and since then, it's just been this wild ride. I've calculated it's 1.5 new people per business day.
Oh,
So
wow.
that we've brought on. Yeah, so it's a solar technology company. Like, watch my words there. But it's really great mission, and we're trying to bring solar technology to folks, to reduce the cost of electricity, but also to be able to get off the grid. It's instead of large solar panels that take lots and lots of land, which is expensive, as you know. It uses concentrated solar power. So that's sort of all I can say.
Sure.
The team is a really interesting group of very diverse people. We have folks, we're only hiring right now in the US. I'm in the UK currently. We had somebody in Spain helping us out for a little bit as a consultant. We have somebody who's quarantining in Mumbai,
Oh,
who
wow.
normally lives in Chicago. We have tech engineers in, I think, Bulgaria and Sweden. So we are a very distributed company, just by not just by nature of quarantine, but by nature of where the talent is. So we're
Mhm.
really interested in getting talent where it lies. And just people that are really passionate about sort of the environment and progressive issues, and making sure that we're looking after the folks that need a little bit of extra help.
That's great. I mean, I love the mission. I think that's such a powerful mission to be working on right now. So can you tell us a little bit about like what the culture is like working there? You have a distributed team across multiple continents, it sounds like. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, tell us a little bit about what the culture of the company is.
It's surprisingly transparent, open, communicative. Um, I've not met anybody in person. Well, I take that back. I've met one person in person once, and
Yeah.
that was sort of my connection to the company. But everybody is really doing well with this sort of distributed setup, remote. I've worked remotely since January 2017, but I put together a sort of how to work remotely deck for folks. And I constantly, I'll send out like one tip a day for any given
Hmm.
technology or um, well-being tips, anything that I can do to try to make people's lives a little bit more sane and normal. But yeah, so people are really doing well. They've taken to Slack. Not everybody was on Slack. They've been pretty good about uh, using Zoom and even Slack video. Just whereas you might go around the corner, now it's you have to make a quick call. But people are, I'm genuinely surprised at how good and communicative it is. So yeah, and it's really interesting because it's a startup. People are really sort of passionate, like, okay, we're gonna show our best foot forward and like really work hard on this. And I, as an HR person, I think it's a little bit bad because people are working, I think, too long, you know.
Yeah, right.
Um,
That's typical of a
but
startup in a lot of
Yeah.
places.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to do my best to set an example by stepping away for lunch, stepping away for dinner, um, and then turning off at a certain time, which is quite difficult being in the UK working with Mountain Standard hours. So
Sure.
yeah, it's just it's new. It's 2 months for me and most people. So, but it's a good culture, it seems.
Well, and yeah, and it seems like you're really putting efforts to, you know, begin the company in a solid way, right? Like putting in kind of the right procedures, the right mindset, and really conscious of building a long-term culture. But because I think a lot of startups when they get going, to your point, like they just go full steam ahead, 80 hours a week, heads down, and they sort of forget about the important stuff of putting the core things in place that will really help build a long-term successful company from a culture perspective. So no, that's exciting. What are the roles, or what role are you looking for right now specifically?
I'm currently looking for someone to help me with the human resources
Okay.
aspect, um, because I'm not able to do my sort of operations side as much as I need to be doing. So, setting up processes and procedures for basically the entire company, that's sort of fallen by the wayside because I've been doing a lot of onboarding. Um, and there's a lot of room for sort of um, developing policy. So setting up benefits and any good stuff that people have been working in HR for the last few years can bring to the table. Um, because it's a blank slate, I think it's really exciting because they could come with all their best practices and innovative and creative ideas. But essentially, it's an HR person that um, would would be responsible for a lot of recruiting, but also um, just sort of the mundane. I don't really find it mundane. It's kind of exciting. Chatting with folks about their questions and helping them do forms and all that good stuff. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, so like you're building and scaling a company pretty rapidly right now. And so that gives you kind of a lot of options to determine what kinds of personalities are going to come in and what kinds of different skill sets and everything. What does your dream team look like?
well, I wish I had a bigger team right now. But yeah, I think a really diverse team would be good. I am really big on diversity, equity, inclusion myself. I volunteered and volunteered for the Human Rights Campaign for almost 10 years or so. Um, and in that capacity, so that's why it's really important to me, sort of close to my heart. And then I've also recently just finished a master's in organizational and social psychology. So all these, well, not necessarily new ideas, but sort of best practices where the science is right now is fresh on my mind. So I think having a team that values that and is really interested in um, sort of scientifically proven ideas. And I don't think it's great to just sort of like, oh well, yeah, we'll just start from scratch and go as as it comes along. I'd rather
Hmm.
say, okay, this is what they found. They bothered to do these studies. Like, let's use that information.
Yeah, and then how can it apply to us and help us? And
Yeah.
no,
So
no
kind of
need to
like
recreate the
applied.
wheel.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like applied psychology, applied
Yeah. Well,
organizational psychology. As I think that would be my dream team,
yeah.
is somebody who was sort of on point with that.
And are there like a couple traits that you've sort of found over the last couple months that are starting to you're starting to see in common amongst the employees, the team?
Um, yeah, I think it's, and I don't think just because I'm seeing a lot of this in common that that's necessarily a good thing that I want to replicate. Like I
Sure.
said, like, diversity is important to me. So if you have too many competitive people that are sort of edging for the spotlight, you also need some people that are doers, that are just like,
Hmm.
I'm happy to get the job done, as opposed to, come up with the amazing ideas and get all the credit. There has to be a good balance.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, that's where I'm at right now, is kind of assessing the balance of personalities. And and I really do need somebody who's sort of really got a really strong work work ethic. That was hard to say. And so yeah, really strong work ethic, and somebody who sort of can be very calm in high stress situations.
Sure, sure.
There's a lot that's changing. Any week, something is new.
Yeah,
A
right.
couple weeks ago, we got a new CEO, that kind of thing. And that completely changes the dynamic
Mhm.
of day to day of the company, the feeling behind it. So somebody who's adaptable is a huge need.
Hmm.
Um, and I think have I answered your question? I've gone
Oh
off on
yeah.
Yeah,
No, you
absolutely.
yeah, well, and I was going to say, one thing you mentioned to us that's sort of unique is that the organization is was founded or is owned by a sports figure, and
yeah,
I think that kind of plays into a lot of what you're talking about, right? It's that adaptability and that autonomy, but yet that sort of team player mentality,
absolutely.
which is really cool. So, okay, awesome, awesome.
Yeah, so I mean, I think, incredible mission, incredible values.
Hmm.
How can people apply?
I know that's a great question, because our website is currently being redone,
Hmm.
and I don't want to sort of put that out there yet. So I think the best way is either through you both or through the Hacking HR community.
Hmm.
I'm on there as Taylor Fiscus. I've been actually taking resumes through Slack.
Oh,
um,
cool.
so that's kind of how I'm handling it at the moment, which I know is kind of unique. I am finally had a moment to start to develop a job description,
Hmm.
um, but who knows how accurate those ever really are.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
have
this
we have
video,
that.
honestly, this information that we're talking about today is more important, in my opinion, than
Yeah,
the actual
Yeah.
job description. So,
agreed.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
can put a
no,
link
yeah,
to the Hacking HR Slack forum
yeah.
Yeah.
down below, and we'll put your username so that way folks know how to contact you through that Slack forum.
Can they reach out
And
to you on LinkedIn as well?
yes, yes, absolutely. I just was
Okay.
like,
You're like, what is that? Yeah. No, that perfect. We'll include both those links. And yeah, and anything we can do to help kind of moving forward, we're happy to do so. So Taylor, thank you. This was awesome. We're really excited for you all. And thank you all for checking this out. And as we said, we've got information in the post somewhere. So look for those links and good luck. So thanks again, Taylor. Appreciate it.
thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate what you're doing.
Absolutely.
Take care.
You